So back to Hillview again. Really enjoying the venue at the moment, and obviously good draws really do help. So I've drawn 81, which is an absolute screamer. Probably the best peg on the complex, I would have thought. I believe it won last Sunday's match. So yeah, definitely a peg that is definitely very favourable at the moment. So basically, just dob in really. If you've watched any of my other videos, Hillview, basically they're all pretty much the same sort of tactics, and obviously just need to make sure you draw on some fish. To be fair, now don't get me wrong, dobbing doesn't necessarily work on all the pegs, and you've got to be a little bit flexible. Now, obviously, you want to be catching on dobbing because you're not feeding anything, and you can just chase a fish around, and you're potentially not going to mess your peg up. Whereas obviously feeding bait, you run the risk that you could potentially maybe mess it up. But it's gone mild again, and these lakes are quite small, so I guess the water temperature would increase a lot quicker than what a great big lake would, right? I'm no expert on that, but I guess that's how it would work. So anyway, basically, dobbin rigs have been the same, 012 or 014 mainline, 012 or 010 hook lengths depending. So if you're fishing obviously 014, 012 and then 012 to 010, so quite fine lines because the water's quite clear. I don't know if you noticed without netting that fish, you could see it quite a bit under the surface. So I do think finer lines definitely do catch you more fish. Up to you if you want to do that. Maybe that's too fine, I don't know, but you are catching F1s as well, and obviously they do seem to respond to lighter rigs and stuff. So fishing a short kit, like explained before, so you might be new to the channel, might not have never seen any of my stuff. So basically just using a short kit, it helps speeding up kitting up because you don't get a massive amount of time, get an hour. So you draw at 9 o'clock and then fish from 10 to 3:30. So it's nice, you've got 5.5 hours, but you need to be organised with kitting up. So what the beauty of it here is obviously this canal is no deeper than 4 foot, so everything can go on short kits. And also what's good about short kits over long kits, I don't think you want elastic all over the shot, because I think that will spook the fish. So you're trying to put them back, I'm not saying pull their heads off, but obviously you want to get them this side of the canal so they're not spooking other fish if possible, even on light gear and stuff. So obviously short kits, you can still fish quite a light elastic, and obviously it just powers up quickly and it's not all over the shop. That's my opinion. You don't have to do that. Just because I say it doesn't make me an expert, far from it, but that's what I would suggest doing for me. Rigs light, basically 4x10s. I wouldn't go anything heavier than 4x12s unless obviously the wind's really bad, got issues with presentation or anything like that. But to be honest with you, like literally a 4x10 is probably about the norm. Even if a 3x8 rig might be alright, but they just tend to be a bit too fine with bristles and stuff, so you can't tend to see them even with my binoculars, as in glasses. So yeah, light rigs very important. Hooks wise, just been using the Guru F1 pellet hooks. I'm not sponsored by Guru. So obviously just use what I want, so happy days. I think they're really, really good hooks for this. So 16 for bread, and then basically fishing a 20 or even a 22 with maggots. So double maggot, a size 22, double maggot, fish a 20, and obviously a single maggot, just fish a 22, and that's it really. I haven't really been catching on meat. Thought maybe I might have been a bit of an idiot not taking meat to my peg today when I drew it. So just bread and maggots. I had a tin of corn, never even opened it up, but I didn't get bitted out at all, so I think there's just too many carp around. But I didn't have it all my way, to be honest with you, because I've caught really well for 2.5 hours, and it, like the third last sort of 2 hours of the match has been a bit of a squeaky bum time, because Mick O.B. was catching really well to my left, and Roy Reynolds, so Daddy Reynolds, was catching as well down his edge. So to be honest with you, if I had another quarter of an hour, so say if the match finished a little bit later, I could have easily come third on the lake because them two were both motoring, whereas I was struggling a little bit, to be honest with you. Felt I had to put some bait in, so just toss potted a few fishery micas and just fished dead reds over the top. So really, really simple, to be honest. So I had a very enjoyable match. A little bit frustrating at times. I think sometimes just the fish are just swimming through. So I did foul look a few and lost a couple. Just the same as all anglers, to be fair. I think all anglers suffer from that a little bit, especially on this lake. I think Canal 3, where I am, is something quite special, to be honest with you. I think that's one of the lakes that's very well. They're all full of fish, but I think you know, Canal 3, I think, is probably the best canal in my opinion out of the four for weights and stuff. Just looking at the weights over the last sort of couple of months, Canal 3 seems to be the one that seems to dominate more, to be honest. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video. It's nothing special, just chucked it on, so hopefully it might give you a little bit of an insight to Hillview, out as fishing. There's lots of other videos that I've done, so that would definitely probably be worth watching more than maybe this one. Anyway, catch you soon. Take care. Bye.